All right, just give me a minute here, guys. Let me just get situated. Go hit the head real quick, and I just got this game in today, so I figure I've had a burned copy of this, but the fucking audio didn't like burn on the CD. Like I can't get the music to sync up with the game, so this is one of those ones I bit the bullet. I got this. I got a couple other ones coming. This is just money I had from eBay sales. I did pretty good selling games, and guys, if there's anything that you want, check my eBay out and see if there's anything you want. I got some decent games on there. My prices are good. I work deals with you, so I urge anybody that I was just speaking to a friend of mine that was selling stuff. Sell on eBay. That's what I've been doing, and I recoup the majority of my money that way. If not, make some actually. And for me, for the real cheap stuff that I don't want to list in a lot, I just take it to the flea market or to the retro store. One in my area, Regen, I did real good. I got that collector's edition for Death Smiles for just like games that I had sitting around, like 360 games, PS3 games, just stuff that really can't even sell online to make anything, a couple bucks maybe. I got like $40 in store credit, and I still have some store credit from that deal, and I got that collector's edition for Death Smiles. So yeah, just be smart with your games, and I've always found creative ways to flip and sell stuff and get the stuff that I really want. So because that's what it's all about. For me, it's just playing the games that I want to play. Whether it's through a legit copy or a burn. I don't give a shit, and if anyone else gives a shit, tell them buy that shit for you. I'll be right back. Whew. Ay caramba. I guess I better get out my action replay card. Shouldn't need pseudo Saturn for this. And if I do, there's a problem. If I need pseudo Saturn for this, there's a serious problem. But, oh, you know what? All right, so I got an action replay in. Oh man, I can't think of many reasons to actually mod a Saturn in this day and age. You can do everything off the off those carts, unless you don't want to use carts at all. But then I would do. They got the things now where it's just like an SD card reader, just kind of right in the system, and that's kind of the way to go. Like you can have your physical games if you want them. Maybe have another Saturn if you really are that crazy with it and want to play them directly off the disc. But you can play everything off an SD card, so you could have like full ROM sets and then just have your physical games. But if you want to play those physical games off the disc, just have an extra backup system. But that's like for crazy collectors. This thing kind of has a beefy manual for a Saturn game. Disc is in great shape, by the way. I definitely like the Saturn CD tray. You never feel like your disc is going to get scraped by anything, with a Saturn or a Dreamcast. All right, start game. Wonder if there's any cheats that I can get off the action replay. Is there any way to update those action replay cards to add cheats? Well, it all got it. That thing slips up with composite sometimes. It'll get it. You guys will see everything, but I see some slip ups on my screen. Plus, if you notice, like in between load screens, sometimes there's audio issues, video issues, but overall, I still love having the Elgato HD that has the composite and component input. And S video, it's through S video, so you could do S video directly out. Anyway, Batsugun. Hopefully the fucking audio is in this one. That's already on easy. Should we do original, or there's nobody even in the stream right now? I'm gonna do original. Yes, sir. Yep. Sorry, I had to run and fix the computer for my father-in-law real quick. You gotta keep pressing the button down because the shot's not fast enough. That kind of sucks. I forgot about that. But with the girl, you don't have that problem. I gotta play with the girl. Okay. Sorry, it's taking me a minute to get into this, but hey, it's just what it is, man. This will be chronicles in the archives of history for all time, or as long as eBay servers are up. Another thing I figured, right? As long as I got time, as long as I got time off work, right? Which is kind of a good thing because I've never really taken time off of a job like ever in my life. But when I worked at the t-shirt shop, I did devote time to YouTube, and I think a good idea would be to actually get creative and contribute something to my YouTube channel. I mean, I have what I consider to be a fair amount of subscribers, you know, that I've generated over a, 2-year period, just little bits and pieces I've uploaded to YouTube. But it's obviously been all centered around, these shooters, most people that, comment on my videos and, say things other than just the day-to-day. It's always about, I found your channel because of, shooters and stuff like that. Ooh, what's Type C? Do I not want Type C? Gotta hold the B. I keep mashing the button though with this shit. I have a Saturn arcade stick. I'm not sure if I have turbo on it or not. It's been a minute since I pulled it out. I'm glad I have it though. Okay, so now I don't have to mash the button. So I do like Type C. See, I couldn't get into this game when I played it before, when I burnt my own copy, because there's no audio. I mean, the sound effects are there, but some games when you try to burn them, on the Saturn, and I think maybe the Sega CD too, maybe once or twice, sometimes the audio files don't sync up with the ROM or whatever. I'm sure there's ways you can get it to work, and there's people that have pretty good repros out there, but I'm just a hobbyist. Jesus Christ. God, that's not good. I'm gonna rip through these continues. I'll tell you what, guys, it is windy as shit outside here. I don't know if it's windy where y'all's at, but it is windy out here. Jesus Christ. God, 2 more stages, I think. 5 stages, right, this game? I really dig the graphical aesthetic of of this shooter. It's you know, this thing is it's a little pricey. You know, it's like a $150 to $200 game, right? But you know, for something like that, if something this good, you know, I'd say yeah, get the repro first. But you know, like I said, I made some couple dollars selling games on eBay. This one, I was always upset with the burn I made because I could never get the audio to sync over, and it's like I'm missing half the freaking game. You know what I mean? Well, it looks like I gotta practice. Unless, are there any cheats online with this game? Or can I enable cheats on the action replay card? That's what I want to know. Sorry, guys, I'm looking on my phone real quick. Batsugun cheats. Okay. Let's see if there is anything. There is a cheat. Extra credits. Okay. AB. 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 So, AB. AB. XAB. AB. AB. XAB. Okay. So you just pause the game and enter that in. Damn, I should have looked that shit up a minute ago. Oh, it does work. AB, AB, XAB. Look at that. AB, AB, XAB. Ooh, AB, AB, XAB. AB, AB, XAB. Oh no. Is that 8? Is that it? Yep. AB, AB, XAB. Oh, 9. AB, AB, XAB. That's it. So I guess you cap out at 9. So if you, I wonder if you can keep adding them whenever you want. That's probably the best freaking cheat right there. That's I couldn't think of a cheat any better than that. I wouldn't want to upgrade weapons or do nothing crazy unless it's like keep them all like all the time. Adding credits, that's all you need. It's basically like giving you free quarters for the arcade at this point. Shit, I wish all Saturn shooters had that AB, AB, XAB. I wonder if any other ones have that. Is it like the Konami code where it works for a couple of different games? I think Band Presto games on the PS1, there's a couple of them that I have that have similar cheat codes, so it could be a thing, you know? I like the dude, the pixel art for the dude at the end stage. It's the character that I'm playing with right now. He's like smoking the cigarette. Ah. Love that dude smoking right on that cigarette. It's probably a Marlboro Red. He looks like a Marlboro Red guy, or Camel. He looks like a Camel filter guy. He definitely doesn't look like a Newport guy. You know, it would be even better on this game if fucking Spuds McKenzie was a playable character. That would be fucking awesome. Somebody needs to do a ROM hack and add fucking Spuds McKenzie to Batsugun. Oh, give me that. Let me get that. Frick. Alright, that's it. That should be all. Come on. A couple more shots. There it goes. And Dead on Pachi and fucking Dead on Pachi Diojo. Couple more shots. You still got like 1 minute left after he says that. Like, are you serious? Like, a couple more shots. It's like, alright, now it's time to use my last bomb. That way I can get through this. Try to conserve a life, right? You know, get on to the next stage where it's a little bit easier. You know, really utilize that life and the bombs that you got, right? When you use your stuff just, you know, strategically, you know. A couple more shots. You got like a minute left. Couple more shots. As much as I hate that it's so early, I love that the dude says it. Oh, bitch. That's alright, we got infinite credits, so. Holy moly. It's this pig right here. Nothing. I wonder if you like score a certain amount or something, if that pig like gives you something. God, one of my buddies sent me a very disheartening text message. He was like, you know, he's like, game collecting is getting way too expensive. He's like, I think I'm done. I'm very sad to hear that, man. I get it though. I try not to spend a ton of money on, you know, video games. All my money goes to like bills and shit. The only reason I get games now is, you know, because of like eBay and, you know, shit like that. Deals at the flea market. That's what I do. I get deals at the flea market. I go on, I flip on eBay, and then the other thing that I do is I do, you know, the pre-orders. The only place I really spend the money is like the pre-orders for like limited run, strictly limited, fucking Play Asia, that type of shit. That's where you'll spend a couple hundred, you know. But you know, it's like here and there. You know, a lot of those pre-orders are, you know, $30-$40. You know, on a payday, you know, you get one of them. You probably won't get the pre-order for, you know, damn 6-8 months down the road. But you know, it's cool when it comes in. Okay, so the trigger buttons show you the more information at the bottom of the screen. You see that? Let's see, can we add credits? A, B, A, B, X, A, B. Oh, look at that. Good as new now. Shit. Shit. God, you never know what that thing's gonna fire out. Fucking random as shit. Oof. Yeah, you know what, guys? Thank God for eBay, because, like, you know, the times that I'm not working, like right now, I mean, I have a job and I work, you know, I work a little bit during the week, but it's slow, you know. I've been making up for that loss of income from using eBay, you know, using eBay. And as a matter of fact, this is going to sound weird, so I have the, you know, monetization on some of my videos. I never, you know, do live streams or, you know, take donations during live streams or nothing like that, but I do have, you know, my videos are monetized, you know, unless I got music in them and stuff. Sometimes I don't, but, you know, I've almost made $100 off of that since I've had my channel, so that's kind of cool. And I'm not paying attention to the screen at all, but that's what happens when you have infinite continues. So that's kind of cool. So, you know, I was thinking about, like, you know, Radical Rick. I was talking to Radical Rick in his comment section of one of his videos, and you know, that he really does care about his channel and, you know, channel growth, and he just wants to stay away. I don't know why I got his name in my mouth, but you know, we share a lot of the same philosophies, you know, him and I. So I have a lot of respect for Rick, even though I'm sure some people think he's a terrible person. I don't. I think he's a nice, honest guy. I think he's better than most. And, you know, I'm not worried about, you know, there's a few, you know, bigger YouTubers, you know, that I'm friendly with, and, you know, on social media and on YouTube and, you know, stuff like that. You know, I don't worry about, you know, the relationships that I've made on YouTube. I don't worry about, you know, what people think of me just because I interact with certain people. And, you know, there's one guy that's like, you know, people either love him or they hate him. And not Rick, I'm not even going to mention who this person is, but, you know, I've always been friendly with him, and I think he's a decent guy. Some people think the dude's a scam artist, you know. I've always stated that, you know, I don't think that, even if, you know, my peers, you know, feel a certain way about somebody, you know, I'm definitely not going to jump on as a hype train, as they say, with, you know, anything, whether it be a person or a game. I think that's a piece of shit, you know. But overall, I think there's some really nice people on YouTube that I've met that's in my little, you know, circle of friends and shit like that. But, you know, I've also met some pretty, you know, some pretty weird people. I'm not going to say they're bad people, but I've met some pretty weird people. But I am a pretty weird guy myself, so I guess birds of a feather, right? feel like that's easy to dodge. You just have to, okay. God, now that's not easy to dodge when they do that shit. Whew. Trying to whip out my skills now, guys. Oh. Next continue, I'm going to try a different character. Wrestling with games. Hey, what's up, guys, man? Thanks for stopping by. As you could probably guess, this came in the mail today. This is something I ordered last week. You know, some stuff I order from Japan comes to the house, or comes to the P.O. box, or wherever I send it to, comes faster than it does if I order it from, like, let's say California. Isn't that weird? And shipping is about the same, too. And, you know, a thing in this household, you know, I get a lot of stuff sent to my P.O. box because, you know, I live with my in-laws, and they were thinking that, you know, I get a lot of packages from other countries. They're scared that they're going to get that coronavirus, which is, you know, kind of crazy. You know, a hypoallergenic surface isn't going to, you know, cultivate, you know, germs and stuff like, you know, well, you know, you can't tell nobody nothing, you know. That's because the news, man, they scare the public. You know, even the president said, you know, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. You know, Donald Trump tells me I shouldn't worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. If he ain't scared, I ain't scared. You know, saying where I'm from, you know, where I hail from originally is don't get scared till I get scared. Which is some real shit, you know, because when I get scared, then you might have something to worry about, you know. Because not a lot of stuff scares me. So when I get scared, something might be going down. Or I should rephrase that. The shit that scares me is the shit that doesn't scare most. Like, the shit that scares me is if I dropped a copy of this game on the ground as I whipped it out of the system, you know, it was have a scratch on it, you know, shit like that. That scares me. Obviously, a normal person could give two shits less about something like that. You know? So that's what I mean when I say that. God, my girlfriend, the ringtone on the phone upstairs, because we still have a landline here, she has the music from Apocalypse Now on the phone, so it plays that song like every time somebody calls the house. And it's not cute. You know, the 100th time you hear that, it loses its charm. I know we can get into politics. You know, I'm not a huge political person, but I will say this. You know, I have family that works for the government, and I'm not gonna even say any more information than that. But you know, having that element around me, you'd be surprised. The people that I know that are involved in the government never speak about their personal political affiliations and stuff like that, unless the only thing I've noticed is unless it's something that pisses them off, you know. Oh shit, did I lose all my continues? Are you kidding me? We're gonna have to keep playing. We're gonna have to keep playing, guys. We're gonna get through this game. I can't believe that I had access to infinite continues, right? Infinite continues, and I let all 9 of them just slip away. Baltimore. Baltimore's it's bad, but it's not as I'm sure it's just as bad as any other city. I think that it's probably a lot worse over on the places on the West Coast. Add these continues A B A B X A B A B A B X A B A B A B X A B A B A B X A B. Oh, one more. A B A B X A B. There we go. I gotta remember to do that when I start getting low. Yeah, so Baltimore's not too bad. I've definitely, God, I could, I was thinking about making videos of some of the stuff and experiences that I've had in my life. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Some of the stuff, if I started talking about it, you would think I was either lying or crazy or like, what the hell? Who is this guy involved with? Just, I can't. I don't really feel like I should get into any details, but. Once I get some answers from a few people, there's some videos that I might, start making, once I feel like, certain things can't affect my job and, stuff like that. And I might start talking about some of my experiences. But until then, I can't really go into any detail. But I will say this, Baltimore, you see shows like The Wire, which is great. Y'all should definitely watch that if you've never seen it. They paint a picture of a terrible hood where there's tons of murders, and yes, that does happen, but there's a lot of good in Baltimore too. It's been my experience that, and it's probably changed now because things flip-flop, but I've had scary things happen to me on the street in DC and in Baltimore. So for anyone that knows, I'll tell you a real quick story. I got my car, I'm not going to go into any details about nothing, but I got my car stuck on 50th Street. If you guys know Southeast DC, 50th and Division Avenue, right? Anyone that knows, there in the wintertime, dead of winter, snow on the ground everywhere, get the car stuck. I got 15 kids, I'm talking about 8 to 12-year-old kids, surrounding my car with rakes and shovels, beating on my car. That's some scary shit. I thought I was going to lose my life that day. There's a few days where I've had things like that happen, where, including the time I got shot, but that wasn't that bad. I just got shot in the hand and in the leg, but it was a little bit scarier with the rakes and the shovels. But every time something like that happens, I think, oh, this is it. This is the big one. I'm coming home, baby. And I make it through to another day. Experiences like that have taught me to be very grateful for life and the people I have in it, the few things I have in my life, This is Batsugun. I think I have it in the title of the live stream. Maybe not, though. Maybe I didn't update that. If I didn't, I apologize. Yeah, Batsugun on the Sega Saturn. This is I've had a burn of this for a while, but it just didn't have the audio synced into the ROM or whatever. Sometimes that happens with Saturn games. Yeah, I just got this with money that I've made off selling some of my stuff on eBay. Check out my eBay, guys. I got good stuff, listed. I'm about to list some more stuff. It's RPGs, decent stuff, and I keep my prices competitive too. I'm looking up the prices of what everything costs, just based on sold listings. I'm not looking at current listings or nothing like that. And I got my prices pretty good. Like, I just sold a 3DS game, like the Mystery Dungeon. One of the games in the Mystery Dungeon series. I sold it. It was like a Atlas game. It had like a soundtrack and everything. I just sold that for like $13. You know what I'm saying? That's not bad. Bitch. How many continues we got here? I think we're good. I think we got 9. Ah! Now we got 8. Now we got another bomb. What does this guy do, this little pig? What does he do? Does he give you something? I feel like he'd be like them guys on Metal Slug that give you food and whatever. Food and drink. Try somebody else. So you got to keep hitting the button with this guy, man. I don't like that. Yeah, I can't use him. I'll use her though. I like her. Oh man, yeah, peace out, man. If you want to give this game a try, download it. If you got a pseudo Saturn card or a modded Saturn, everyone should have a pseudo Saturn card. That's like an essential thing to have. They're pretty cheap now, but you know, just download it, burn it through image burn at 8 times speed, and you're good to go. For the audio does not burn on the disc, at least for me. I've tried to burn it probably 10 times, but you can play the game just with no music. You know, sound effects are there, but biggest worry where you live is picking blueberries, blackberries. We got blackberries out here in Western Maryland. There's you know, mountainous terrain. The first time I saw a bear, it was a black bear. We had our packing, we hiked through Shenandoah Valley or whatever, and we had our bags up in the tree at night because, you know, if you have toothpaste or food, the bears will try to get into your bag, you know, like raccoons and shit, you know. So we had them hoisted up in the tree, you know, like they do. And a bear was like, you know, trying to climb up a tree and like get to the bag, and I was like, oh my god, I was freaking out. But man, them things is as scared of you or you are of it, you know. It's not like we got grizzly bears. Yeah, I'm sure if you have like a giant like mama black bear and you're like near its cubs, maybe you might have something to worry about, but other than that, I think you're good. Worst thing you got to worry about out here is, other than getting shot, is the dope. You know, if you got a habit, you got to worry about the dope with their fentanyl shit. Or we got copperheads out here. You know, gets bit by a copperhead or a brown recluse. I heard they're pretty nasty. We got copperheads. We got brown recluse. You know, black widow. I think everybody's got black widows though. Oh, I got another Saturn game that I ordered. It was like 60 bucks, 63 bucks. It's a shooter. You know, I felt like that was a... See, 3 credits. We gotta add some more. There we go. Anyway, I ordered a shooter. It's called Kingdom Grand Prix, and it looks pretty good. I've never played that one, but it was one I've had my eye on. And 63 bucks. That's not terrible for a Saturn shooter, you know. Some of the more common ones like Gumbird and maybe like Gradius, you know, stuff like that. You can get that stuff pretty cheap if you you know, like shooters on the Saturn. When I started buying imports, it was the PS1 and the PS2 because the time I got a this kid sent me a import PS2 as a guy I traded clothes with, right? This kid from Japan. He was like, yeah, I'll send you my video game collection. I was like, sweet, man, I love video games. And then he sent me, it was all Japanese shit. And I was like, dude, I didn't, because he was from Japan, right? I was like, whatever, I'll give it a try. That's how I got into imports. So at first, it was always about the PS1 and the PS2 games. You know, PS1 shooters were pretty cheap. You know, I was getting all the Japanese versions of like, you know, Einhander and, you know, all the shooters for the PS1. I mean, them things were like under 10 bucks cheap. They still are, some of them. If you're willing to get a Japanese PS2, you can get like R-Type Delta for like 60 bucks instead of the whatever crazy amount it goes for here. Now, I always wanted that Working Designs version of... I got them down left and right. I always wanted the Working Designs version of Thunder Force 5, although it probably plays better on the Saturn. Yeah, it probably does. Don't know, though. But I want that Working Designs version. It's just so expensive. And I think Working Designs did Ray Crisis, too, if I'm not mistaken. That's one that I never see. Like, yeah, I've seen some Thunder Force 5s. There's a game store in my area that has one for sale. They want $95 for it. No manual. $95, no manual. That is crazy. Ain't nobody buying that. Ain't nobody buying a Thunder Force 5 for... Some of their prices at that store, like, they have deals with, like, limited run games, and, you know, you can get all the games from them for, like, the same cost as they have on the website, which is great, especially some of those collector's editions that sell out, and they're hard to get. It's like a shooter, you know, like, I love going there and finding that kind of stuff. I'm very grateful that they have that, but, man, some of the retro stuff, man, $95 for a copy of Thunder Force 5 with no manual. Like, what is wrong with them? How can you with a straight face try to sell? I wouldn't even feel comfortable listing something like that for $95 on eBay. You know, I'd worry people would send me negative, nasty messages. You went to high school in Shenandoah Valley, really? How was that out there? Is it really a thing, like picking the ginseng, the sang? I remember they had a show about it in like West Virginia, and I think places in North Carolina, you know, places near Shenandoah Valley. There was that show on A&E about picking the ginseng. Like when I watched that show, I was like, damn, I'm ready to go out back and look for them little berries and pick that shit. Ooh. Thank God for that code. Thank the Lord. We got the action replay, but we don't need no codes because we got infinite continues, infinite quarters, credits. I couldn't even imagine one crediting this on easy. No way. I would have to really practice this game, and for 5 stages, I think it's 5. This is a pretty long. I'm sure people are like, you're crazy. This is short as hell, but for 5 stages, you know, you think about that 5 stages, this is pretty long for 5, at least to me. Now, if it was this long with like 7 or 8 or 10, maybe 7 stages, then I'd be like, yeah, it kind of flew by. But for 5, I feel like it takes a little while. You know, I can learn the patterns, especially when I'm just like by myself. Just staring at the screen like with a blank mind. But it would take a while for this one. This is a pretty, like I said, for 5 stages, I think it's pretty long. Damn. Kept that going for a while. I find, oh God, I don't, you know, how I found out about certain games, especially the Dojin stuff, I would go on like blog posts, like Reddit and stuff like that, and I would look for shooters, like, you know, I'd look for like the stuff with like a crazy name, and it could be, you know, for the PC. I think I saw a screenshot somebody posted of Crimson Clover one day, and I couldn't, at the time in my life, you know, I couldn't fathom playing a shooter on a PC. Are you crazy? Like, I'm playing on a console or an arcade. That's it, you know. Until I saw Crimson Clover, and I said, I'm definitely giving that a shot. So I downloaded it on Steam. No, I didn't download it on Steam. I downloaded the Dojin version first because somebody had a link for Dojin Gravity. And that's how I found out about Dojin Gravity, which is an awesome site. I found out about a lot of shooters from that site, like some of the best ones I've ever played. I found out about on Dojin Gravity. But yeah, Dojin Gravity, I'd go on there, and I'd read about these shooters, and you can download them right off the site. And it was great. And it still is great. I advise anyone to go there and download Crimson Clover. You can get Battle Traverse, which is a game I was streaming last night. It's an excellent shooter. I found out about a game called Rumble Storm on a site called DL Site, or Download Site, which is a game that sells like risque, hentai, dojin shooters. And I found out about Rumble Storm, and then a guy that I had been buying imports off of in Japan, I sent him a message. I said, hey, have you ever heard of this shooter? I would love to have a copy of it. He said, he said, I can get you that for $40. He didn't have it listed or nothing on his site. I was like, dude, fucking hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. So that's how I got Rumble Storm. That's a dude that's a seller on eBay. He still has a site up, Comitica. He's like one of the best eBay fucking sites I've ever seen. It's a store in Japan that just like has all the dojin shit, all the shooters. I don't know where they get the shit from, because a lot of it's stuff that you cannot find anywhere. I got Zenichi from this guy. I got a lot of good stuff from this guy. But anyway, I got Rumble Storm from him too. And as far as lists go, for some of the systems, what's that, Racket Boy or whatever, they have the list up for most of the consoles. But then you got all the PC stuff, you got all the MAME ROMs, which, you know, that you should have a file folder with all your MAME ROMs. Certain ones are hard for me to run, like Death Smiles 2, the MAME ROM of that. I don't know what emulator, you know, what plugin you're supposed to use to play that ROM, but I never figured it out. Okay, so this is Batsugun. What next? Y'all want to see me play something else? I guess something on the Saturn? I got other games. I got some burns of some stuff. I got, oh man, I got In the Hunt. I got Darius Gaiden. I got Radiant Silvergun. It's a decent one. Better than Ikaruga. I got Battle Garega. That's a hard version though of that game. People love it, but man, the bullets are so freaking hard to see in Battle Garega on the Saturn. Okay, let me think. I wish Kingdom Grand Prix came in. Let me see what I got real quick. All right. Let's see here. I got Sexy Parade. These are just like some burns that I made. Let's see. Sexy Parade. Outrun. I got Bokon. That's missing the audio files though. Outrun. Sexy Parodius. Sokaru Gentai. Batsugun, but it's missing the audio. Cotton 2. Cotton 2, that's a good one, isn't it? Let's play Cotton 2. That's one I just made a burn of it one day. Cotton 2. I remember the audio worked fine. And that's all I needed. But I do need a pseudo Saturn card. Which I have right here. Pseudo Saturn. Pseudo Saturn Kai, whatever. So I know Pseudo, an issue I was having with Pseudo, you gotta boot the system on. It's gotta run Pseudo Saturn, and then you load your game in. And I think I'm having an issue with the pin set in my Saturn sometimes because it's not. This is free software. If you paid for this, you got ripped off. Well, you pay for the time to someone throw it on the card, I guess. But all right, please insert disc. Okay, so I should be able to throw Cotton 2 up in the Saturn. It should read the disc. Success. Worked. I see what you mean. I was like, what the hell is this dude talking about? Yeah, it is a lot of work. You got to have... Emulation's probably the way to go, honestly. I just have an older computer that can't emulate. It has trouble doing PS1. I'll get a better laptop one day, then I can probably emulate everything, right? What's that one, that good Saturn emulator I got running on... I got one that could run... I got a GPD-XD I could probably emulate off of, but then I'd still have to HDMI out, Elgato... I mean, the cool thing is the way I got this rigged up. I got the Saturn, I got composite in on the Saturn, to the Elgato, to OBS. Not Streamlabs OBS. Fuck Streamlabs OBS. They want you to... Streamlabs OBS, you use them. They want you to, like, have super chat and, like, donate money. And so I don't even bother with Streamlabs. Plus, for me, OBS runs more smooth. Than adding all that crazy shit that you can add in Streamlabs OBS. But I guess for bigger YouTubers that make a living that way, I could see how the appeal, it would appeal to them, Streamlabs OBS. But I just like regular old Streamlabs. I mean, not Streamlabs, I mean OBS, God. OBS. Not Streamlabs, but just regular old OBS. Alright, let me use the bathroom, I'll be right back. I've never used that Saturn emulator. I have that Yayabusa or whatever, Yabuse. They update that thing all the time, but it does have some issues. But one thing I do like is MD.EMU is a really good Genesis Mega Drive emulator that'll play a lot of Sega CD games. And I actually had a Bluetooth controller on my phone and played through Android Assault the other day like that. It's pretty cool. Yup, definitely work, man. I don't have my video game collection all out and displayed out. Everything's boxed up. I don't keep the Saturn like out all the time. Alright. I wonder if there's any cheats for Cotton. XAB. Nope, that doesn't work on this one. XAB. Oh, that's right, you gotta keep hitting the fire button on this. You can throw enemies though. Damn. This has some pretty good scrolling effects in it, this game. Damn. Well, I got the right weapon for this guy. Really? Honestly, I don't think I've ever played, I don't think I've played that Cotton. I've played this one before. I've played Panorama Cotton on the Genesis. There's a few that I want to try out. There's a Cotton game on the Dreamcast that I want to play. Jesus. Jesus Christ. Tea time. Is that what this is? Tea time? Damn. Say pseudo Saturn. I have a red. I got an Action Replay cart, and then I got a pseudo Saturn cart. I don't have the pseudo Saturn on the Action Replay. That's probably the way to go, but I'm not sure if there's cheats on the pseudo Saturn or not. At least on the one I got. I know Action Replay, the one I have, like as far as North American games go, I got a North American Darius Gaiden, and there's cheats for that on the Action Replay card. God, I don't know how you're supposed to kill that guy. Yeah, I think I must have a. It was a real cheap card at the time I got it. It was like $40, which might seem like a lot, but at the time, Pseudo Saturn was kind of new. At least it was new to me, and there was only a few people. I think I got it on Etsy or something. Shit, they're probably like $10 now. But I know you can get a pseudo or Action Replay that has pseudo in it instead of having to have two carts. Well, I'm all out of continues now. Oh, that sucks. This looks like a really cool level, too. That's it. Yeah, my Pseudo Saturn card, it's like a red card. It says all-in-one, but I think it acts as... I know you can't save to it, but I wish it was on the Action Replay. I don't know. Let's find out if it is. Maybe my Action Replay will do it. Alright, so my Pseudo Saturn card, it says all-in-one, so it's Pseudo Saturn, and it is... I think it'll let me do any region game. Let me grab a game. Alright, so right now I got a Japanese copy of Guardian Heroes. Okay. So Guardian Heroes. I'm going to try it with... Actually, no. Alright, I got Pseudo Saturn in right now. So when that boots, I'm going to put in a legit Japanese copy on a US system and see if I can use this to get past the region locking. Alright, Pseudo Saturn Kai, whatever version that is. Alright, please insert disk. Okay. That works. The only thing that it doesn't have is it doesn't have the Action Replay. It has the 4 megabyte RAM cart, and it's got the you can save to it, you know. Yeah, this is Guardian Heroes right here. Yeah, I love loading the cheats for Darius Gaiden right off of the Action Replay card. It's great. And it was cheats for that. I think Dragon Force was another one. There was like 3 games. 2 of the 3 I had. So I was like, all right, well, that's cool. Darius Gaiden's on here. All right, so this obviously works. Okay. So the Pseudo Saturn cart that I have, I can use it to play Burns and any region. That's good. Plus, if I have to save, I could save to the console and just move them over to my Action Replay cart. But the Action Replay has the 4 megabytes of RAM. And you can save to it, so it would be ideal to have the best of both worlds, you know? Oh. That's right. Alright, so now I'm going to do a test. I'm going to see the speed on... Alright, so this is 4 megabytes of RAM. Guardian Heroes should run smoother with the cart inserted, I think. Oh, Lord, I did something. All right. Oh, Lord. All right. So with the Saturn, when you're starting these games off with these carts inserted, I know for me, the best luck I have is starting the console with no game in it, letting it boot into whatever program it's going to boot into, and then loading your game. You know, so doing it step by step. It's not trying to throw everything at the Saturn at the same time. How much messing with my PC? Well, I'll tell you, Rumble, not a lot. It's easy to download and play. Just I use a SEGA Saturn Bluetooth controller, or not Bluetooth, USB controller. No configuration needed. Works great. Would probably work with an Xbox controller. Okay, so there's no game in right now. Now I'm putting in Guardian Heroes. And the test that we're going to run right now, we're going to see, because I just did a fight with pseudo inserted. I want to see if the animations run smoother with the action replay card. But I'm not sure that Guardian Heroes is a game that would take advantage of the updated or upgraded RAM. But we'll see. We shall see. Oh, you got Astro in the mail? Love that game. Yeah, I feel like this doesn't run any smoother with action replay. Yeah, Astro Breed's awesome. Now, I had that before it released on the PS4. I actually had the Dojin, the newer build. There's like a newer build of it with a fresh coat of paint. I think the development circle behind Astro Breed's Edelweiss. Is that right? Edelweiss. They also did another game that they did. Edelweiss did a game called, it's on the tip of my tongue. They did Astro Breed, and they also did. God, there's another shooter they did it's pretty good. It's called I might look on my computer real quick. Ether Vapor. It just came to me. It's called Ether Vapor, and both are cheap. The PC versions of those games are cheap and good. Astro Breed definitely the better of the two games, but check out Ether Vapor too. I really like that game. Yeah, I think Astro Breed on PS4, you would think it would be one of those games that would go up in value and be expensive, but I think it's like, what, $30-$40 now? That's not bad. Okay. Okay, so now I still got the action replay card in. Didn't increase the speed, of course. I'm using a game that probably doesn't take advantage of 4 meg RAM card, but that's okay. I have X-Men Children of Atom on the Saturn. Maybe that would take advantage of the RAM card. But okay, so that was Guardian Heroes. That didn't. Good to know I can use that with pseudo or action replay with no pseudo. That's good to know. But maybe I have a copy of action replay that has pseudo Saturn on it. I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay, so I got action replay, and now I'm going to boot into that, and then I'm going to put a burnt game in. And if that's the case, then I don't even need this red pseudo Saturn Kai card. Okay. don't think that's going to work. It's trying to read the disc, but I don't think it's going to. Not even going to try. But anyways, that's it, guys. Till next time. Peace out.